Hi, this is attorney Nicole Christie from the Christie Law Firm, where we work hard to make families stronger. So today I want to talk to you again about reinstatement of guardianship. We have a series on this particular topic, and this is where you have lost guardianship to someone else. Your rights are still intact, but someone else is a guardian for your child, and now you're ready to be reinstated. And so I want to talk to you about what happens in the various courts regarding reinstatement. And so this first court that I'm going to talk to you about is juvenile court. It's different from probate court as well as family court. So in juvenile court, if you lost guardianship in a juvenile court, what you would have to do is again go back to that original court and file for the reinstatement. And we have some other videos about what you need to file and the documents that you need to file at that time. And so the procedure that happens for the reinstatement is first you file, and you also have to provide service or notice of that document, what we call service, to the guardian as well as the other parent. Then you will have the very first court date. It's a preliminary court date. At that point, when the guardianship has been transferred, DCF is no longer involved. So at that very first court date, the court orders DCF to come back in and to do a study for the court. So in that particular study, they're going to go through the records of their own company and making sure that they understand why guardianship was transferred in the first place, what led to the child coming into care, and then they'll be interviewing the different parties involved. They will talk with you, the guardian, the child, the other parent, and then formulate an opinion and a recommendation from there. That normally takes several months to complete. In the meantime, you need to make sure you get ready for that interview with DCF. I have another video where we talk about making sure you have your documents together, and you want to be ready for that discussion. As an attorney, when I would sit down with my clients, I will tell them what to expect. I use my own experience as a DCF worker to think about, if I were the worker, what are some of the questions I would have? What are some of the things that I would look for? So you have to make sure that you are ready. They're going to want to see your home, so make sure the home is ready, that you have the kids' room ready. Even though the kids aren't there, you want to look like you're ready for them to come back that same day. And so there's also, in some courts, they will have what they call a case status conference. All of the other attorneys who used to be involved in the case, whether it's dad's attorney, the child's attorney, and DCF's attorney, they will convene and have a discussion about the case. And all of the attorneys will talk about, whether or not there's an agreement, whether or not there's some things that need to be addressed before reinstatement can even be discussed, or whether or not we actually need to go to trial on the issue. So you want to know that that particular meeting happens before the actual decision is made by the court. That case status conference is just with the attorneys. The court is not involved. And if you don't have an attorney, you should be a part of that case status conference as well. After that case status conference, depending on how the parties agree, there will be another court date. At that point, the judge gets to read the actual study. They probably prepare for it beforehand, but you, as the person seeking reinstatement and filing that motion, have the burden of proof. And that is by a fair preponderance of the evidence. You have the burden of showing whether or not you should be reinstated. So you have to overcome why the child was removed in the first place and show that you've done everything to address that issue, and now you're ready for reinstatement. And so you will have to present that to the judge. Again, if everybody is in agreement, it's not likely there's going to be a trial, but still the judge has to make certain findings. So they're going to rely on DCF's report and any testimony that you bring. If there is a trial, you'll have to put on evidence, meaning you'll have to call witnesses, have them testify, put in any documents. And again, there's rules of evidence, so you can't just put everything in. You have to make sure that it follows the rules of evidence. That's why we as lawyers, we can be very helpful, because we know what can go in and what cannot. And so at that point, If it's a trial, the judge will make a decision. If it's not a trial, again, the judge still has to look at all of the evidence and make a determination. But if everybody's in agreement, it's definitely easier. And so if the judge finds that you have rehabilitated to the point where you are now able to care for your kids, then they will grant you guardianship. And so it is a process. It takes several months. It's not something that happens right away, but the more prepared you are to present a strong case, is the better this process will be. If you haven't done anything, you don't have your documentation, you might be filing a little too soon. You don't want to have the judge, hear your evidence and say, you know what, you're not ready, because you can only file this particular motion every 6 months. So if you're not ready now, you'll have to wait another 6 months before you can file again. Okay, so if you have any questions about how to do this particular process, please don't hesitate to contact us. We have a whole series on how to get reinstated, so you can look at those videos, and please stay tuned for more information on how you can help your family get stronger, especially when dealing with DCF.